What's up, guys? It's Jules. Time for another weekly update where we go over cross stitch and other things and whatnot that I've been doing. And it's been bee harvesting week, so honey harvesting week, I should say, not bee harvesting. Honey harvesting week, and that's pretty much all that it's been. I've gotten a little stitching done, but not a lot. We'll go over that, and then once we're done with that, we're going to talk about honey harvesting. And I'll try not to be too long-winded about it, but this will not be as long of a video as it normally is because I pretty much spent the whole week doing the bee stuff. So, and I'll tell you why, because man, it was hard on my fingers. It was a workout for my fingers and my hands, so I had to be, when I wasn't doing stuff, I had to be really careful about my hands. And so, what little did we get done? We got done some dachshund. We finally got dachshund going, and I did a dachshund stitch with me. And I primarily, all I did was purple, but I got a lot of purple done. Purple. That's all I got done. So, welcome back, dachshund. What did I do with you? Welcome back, Coco. Coco, my dachshund. So, yeah, restarting it. Gonna get far. Gonna finish it this time, for sure. For sure. And, oh, I gotta tell you, I'm loving the fact that I'm doing this on 14 count. I'm kind of glad that I got stuck and had to restart on 14 count. I should have done this in the first place. So it's just more comfortable for me. And it's all about me. When it comes to my stitching, yeah, it is. And so it's whatever, and it's all about you. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. It's what I feel comfortable with. Preach it all the time. Gotta follow what I say. All right. Anyway, so I got that done. I don't know if I really got hardly anything else done. What did I do with... Oh, yeah, I brought up, I think I worked on, I may not have, the Bears project. I might have gotten a little bit more done up here, but I also might not have, because I truly don't remember what happened after I did the video last week. Thursday was a very busy day, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, there's my Bears project. Go Bears, we've won. Yay, woo. Offense still isn't where it needs to be. We're not going to get into that on this video. That's not what this video is about. I thought I saw like a big hair flying around, but I didn't. I'm looking at the camera and looking at the camera right there, and right behind the camera is little Princess Leia. Leia! I think I've decided to call her Princess Leia. She's feisty. She doesn't listen. She's not afraid of torture. She's not afraid to climb. Hi, baby. Anyway, I want to work on, in honor of Honeybee Harvesting Week, I am going to be working on my bee project over here. And I think I'm going to get another one. I think I'm going to do my video this week, the videos where I do the cross-stitching pattern website videos. I think I'm going to do Hade this week, Heaven and Earth Designs, or Hade, I know. But there's another project that somebody pointed out to me at some point, and I didn't get it back then, but I'm going to get it now. It's a different bee project, but all hail the queen bee, basically. And so I've got this one. I'm going to get another one. I'm going to do that in about 20 years. Don't worry. It'll be episode 1565 or something, and I'll do that. All right. What else? What else do I got? Yeah, no, I don't think I really did anything else. I really didn't. I didn't do my stitch, or I did my Stitch With Me video this week, but I did not do the pattern website video. I just didn't have time, but I'm going to do it again this week. When I did the dachshund Stitch With Me on Saturday, as I was starting that piece out, I realized I could take part of this and use it for the gridding video that I wanted to do, or how to start. Just do an actual video. I've kind of done it was a little bit of repeating some of what I've said before about gridding, but I keep getting more questions, so I thought, well, let me start dachshund and show you how I would start it and go from there. So I'm sure some folks probably found it repetitive, and others probably really liked it, but it's all good. I'm sure as long as one person was helped by it, that's all that matters. And so yeah, so I almost got another pattern this week, and I'm gonna go and get a pattern or two for myself, because I was one of those things where we were done with the first day of harvesting, and I'll tell you about that in a second. I sat down at the computer and my hands were like swollen, my fingers were hurting. I mean, I've got cuts I had blisters, or actually more like worn spots, and I couldn't tell you what I have them from. Like, I was constantly using my hands. I had blisters and things, and like this whole side of my finger, I don't know if you can't really see it now, but it was just worn off, like all the way on the side. It was just totally, and I was like, Mark was like, what have you been doing? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what happened to my hands, but they were just all like, ugh. And so when I was done, I was like, I just couldn't feel my fingers real well, and I was so tired. We were so tired. But anyway, so I went to the computer and I was like, I have earned myself a cross stitch pattern. I'm gonna get a cross stitch. I know. Thankfully, I did not get a cross stitch pattern, but I was looking, and like I said, there's this one. It's a bee pattern. It's on Hade, and it's the oh, what do you call it? Steampunk. It's a steampunk bee. It's really cool looking. So I think I'm gonna definitely get. I'm definitely gonna get it. And but yeah, I'll talk about that when I do the video here. So all right. I have time to cross stitch now, so I'm definitely going to cross stitch. Tonight I'm cross stitching, tomorrow I'm cross stitching. I'm going to get back on all these projects and get to work with them. And I'm going to get back to your comments and everything. It has been an exhausting week. I'm actually trying to get a little bit sick. I mean, I'm trying not to get sick, but I woke up this morning and I was definitely getting a bit head cold sick. I need to take some more vitamin C tonight and get a lot of good sleep. A lot of sleep is the only thing that stopped me from getting sick. It seems like almost every harvest, every time we harvest the honey, one or both of us always get sick like the week after, because I don't know if it's all the exposure to the pollen and the bees, or I literally think it's because we work so hard in such a short amount of time, and we really do push ourselves a bit too much. So, Fargo. Oh, by the way, a Topher update. The dude's like 95%. He jumped on top of the table the other day and got into some cookies. So I'm like, yeah, I think Topher's back. So he's back to all his little antics that he used to do to get himself in trouble left and right. The only residual bit, he has a little bit of a limp in his front leg. And when he barks, he's a little hoarse when he barks. He's not a pony. He's a little rough when he barks. No, that's another pun. He has a harshness to his bark. Okay, that's better. But anyway, so there's that. So, yeah, I think that's good. So let's talk about honey. If you guys are, I'm probably done with cross stitch. So if you guys are here for cross stitch, I'll see you later. But for those of you who want to talk about honey, so let me just try and summarize a bit of what we did. So, let's see. We were getting everything ready at the end of last week, and then Saturday morning we got up really early. Oh, sorry, I gotta drink something. And so, anyway, all right, let me calm down here. I'm really tired too. My eyes are like wanting to close. So we had gotten up really early Saturday, not really early, but we left the house by about 6:30 in the morning. Drove down. It's about an hour drive to where the honey is. We went through all the hives, and I was really appreciative. My husband got me, my suit kind of got a little damaged this year. I didn't do it, but my husband got me a new suit, and it was a full-length suit, so it had the big hooded veil, covered every little bit of me, and that was great. I mean, I always felt safe when I wear my bee suit. I don't get freaked out by bees, and even when they're covering me and they're really mad and they're all over the place, I'm like, they can't get inside. Now, technically, in the past, when I haven't worn like I've worn a half suit, and then I had like I'd wear like 2 pairs of socks and put them over my jeans, the ends of my jeans, so that I would be truly insulated and protected. And I would worry, because I had a bee sting me through my jeans, and that didn't feel so good. And so I, wearing the full veil, I always feel very secure. So I don't have a fear problem when it comes to that. We very methodically went through. I think it took us about 45 minutes to go through the hives. We only took honey from 5 hives. We remove honey from the hives when we feel like that hive has enough honey to get through the winter. We know roughly about how much they're going to need, and anything beyond that is what we will take. So there's deep boxes, which is when you're looking at a honey hive and you see like the boxes that are stacked, there are ones that are bigger than the ones that are above. So there's like usually there's usually going to be two big boxes, but sometimes it just starts with one big box, and there'll be another big box on top of it, and then above those will be stacked these smaller boxes that are just thinner in a sense, and they can be stacked up high, however high you want to. And it's those smaller boxes, they're called supers, and so they're kind of on top of the rest of the boxes, and that's extra honey for us. That's the honey that we take from the bees, and they don't like it when we do that, but that's what we take. So we go through and we basically assess the frames, and if we're gonna take a honey frame, we'll pull it out, we take a look at it, we hold it up. I gotta still do that video. I still got videos to do. We pull it out. I can tell blindfolded if we got a good honey frame or not, because it'll be heavy. The honey is heavy. It can be as heavy as 4 or 5 pounds when you pull up just the frame. By itself, it's, it's 5 or 6 ounces. It's very small, very light. And so we'll look at it and basically judge, is there enough honey that we should take it, that we can use it, and if it is, then we brush all the bees off of it, put it over to the side in another box to hold, and we just go through each frame of each box that way, and then move from hive to hive to hive. And it went really smoothly. I mean, this was our 4th harvest, and by far our biggest harvest. 2 years ago, we got, I think, like 70 pounds of honey. This year, we got 135 pounds, maybe a little bit more. It was a lot of honey. And so we brought it home, and thank goodness that my husband decided to get an electric extractor. Thank goodness, because when you pull the frames, again, there's going to be a video that's going to show all this, but basically, to get the honey out of the frames, you have to spin them really fast. You first score them with like this what we do is we use like a metal rake to kind of score the caps off of the honeycomb, and then we put it in the extractor. It spins it really fast, and the honey goes flying out the sides, and it hits the side of the extractor, and it drips down to the bottom, and then it gets poured into a bucket that has a cheesecloth filter, and the cheesecloth filter will take the honey and go through and hold, and it'll catch all those bits of comb and bees and whatever else that's in, all the impurities and whatnot in the honey, and then the honey will come all the way down into the bucket. And I mean, in the end, I think we got like over 15 gallons of honey. It was crazy how much honey we got. And we got home at about 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then we started right up with extracting, and we kind of settled into this routine where my husband would score the hamster's drinking and makes a lot of noise when she drinks. My husband would do, like, he would score it, and then he would put the honeys in the extractor, and he got really good at dialing up and down the speed of the extractor, so he would maximize the amount of honey that would come out. And then I had 2 or 3 different of the 5-gallon buckets with the strainers, and it doesn't sound like my job was very difficult, but it was, I'm telling you. So I would take them over, and we would tip the extractor and pour as much honey into the cheesecloth filter that we could until it got too high, and then we would then take another bucket and try to do it. Anyway, the limiting factor was how much honey could we get into the buckets, and then how fast could we bottle it, because the video will explain more, but that was definitely the thing that was kind of holding us back, and it just took a while. But there's just so much that goes into it. And then so we worked all the way up until about, I think we stopped at around 7:30. Yeah, it was a 12-hour day easy. And so we got to a point where we had spun all the frames down as much as possible, and then we were letting everything kind of filter as much as possible. It was funny because Mark was like, we'll get maybe 6 more containers, 6 more like honey containers of honey. And then we came back the next morning and it was like another like 50. It was crazy how much more we got the next day. And yeah, we probably worked on it another like 7 or 8 hours the next day, just kind of off and on, where we were still bottling honey, still filtering. There's a whole process. Like I said, there's going to be videos about that on the B channel, and I need to do a lot more work on the B channel, and I wish I had done more before now, but you always get so motivated around harvest time. But you also get exhausted, and we definitely were, about as exhausted as we've ever been. So next year we were like, we're doing, we need to remind ourselves we need to take extra time off from work and make it like like give ourselves about 4 days to get it done, just so we don't work 12 hours in a day and just exhaust ourselves. And we also made labels, and so we have the honey labels on our. Should I get one? I should get one. Hold on a second. I lost my thing here. Oh yeah, hold on a second. I'm gonna get one. Here we go. So this is what it looks like. So technically we should always have the labels on our honey because it is a food product in a sense, and there's a whole like series of regulations that you're supposed to do. But our company is called Colorado Wild Honey. We actually formed a business for this, just for various reasons, but we harvested it on September 21st. It is raw wildflower honey, and I made a mistake on the label. That was the funny thing. I took a picture and I put it up on Facebook, and my mom was like, wait a minute, I thought you said that you had 12-ounce bottles, so your sticker says 8. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, it took me... I can't even tell you how long it took me to figure out how to make the labels properly. And we have labels on the back as well, but like it has our address and whatnot, and so I didn't want to throw that on there. And so, but anyway, I was like, so I had to go through and I had to like relabel everything. I had to write 8 or 12 over the 8 and whatnot, so I had to change it. Because these are like 340 grams a piece or something like that. It's a heavy little sucker. And so, but we got like official little caps and the tops and everything. This is really amazing honey. It's really smooth and light and clear. If you are interested, the honey is not cheap. There is a lot of work and there's a lot of expense that goes into this. So we're selling it for $12 for a 12-ounce bottle, and there will be some shipping involved depending upon how far away anybody lives. Now, we actually have enough that we can sell it this year to anybody who wants it. So, but I know it's a little pricey. So, just shoot me an email. My email is in my About tab of my profile here on Facebook. It's also on my blog as well, my website, stitchingjules.com. So, by no means feel like you have to buy it. We're doing just fine, but I know I've had some people in the past that have asked, and this stuff is, if you're a honey connoisseur or know anybody who loves honey, this stuff is amazing. And so, and I'm not just saying that, everybody who tastes it is like, wow. And so, this is honey as it's meant to be. Anyway, so one quick funny story. So, not that quick. Look, the video's going to be just as long as any other video is. My goodness, I talk a lot. So, so the other thing is, so do we get stung? And we get stung a lot less than we used to because we have the full bee suits. And we went through the entire extraction period and did not get stung at all. And we were very happy about that because you can definitely get in trouble if you're not preparing yourself properly. And we were like, you know, and sometimes you'll get some stragglers. You might get some few honeybees that, in the past we've had a lot of bees kind of fly into the car and like follow the honey. And for whatever reason this year, like it worked really well. Like we were able to like walk everything away from the bees and put it in the car. And there were very few bees that were still with the honey. And it's like, you know, at first we saw them kind of flying around. We keep our suits on until we get to like the front of the ranch, and then we take off our suits and then we can drive and no problem. And we were like 10 minutes from home. My husband was like, man, he's like, I can't, you know what? We didn't get bit this year. that's amazing. I can't believe that we didn't get bit. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. 5 minutes later, I feel something crawling up, like just about to my knee. And it was a freaking bee. And I felt it. I was like, ah! And I grabbed and the problem is that when a bee feels threatened or trapped, it'll sting you. And the problem was it was reaching a point in my pant leg where it was going straight up, and it was going to reach a point where it couldn't go any further because of just where my jeans were. And I'm like, it's about to sting me. And so I reached down and I tried to pull up my jeans, and bam, I got nailed. And I was like, oh! And but I pulled the stinger out. But even so, I had a really nice reaction. I took some antihistamine right away. And but even with antihistamines, I had a nice reaction. And the leg has been kind of swollen ever since. And so I have to take antihistamines every day. I did not take any this morning. And sure enough, I get home and I'm like, it's just one of those things where it's like above the sock line, it's like all puffy and everything, like up my leg. And so my calf is still swollen. So yeah, it's probably like the 4th time I've been stung, I think. And so I've got to be more aggressive in the beginning when I get stung to like take more antihistamines, hit it harder, and remember to take it for some days afterwards. So that's my getting stung story. And then, wouldn't you know it, we're at home. It's like the same day. It's like at the very end of the day. And my husband's basically like stacking all the frames, stacking all the boxes, putting everything up. Because we're pretty much done. You know, we're getting settled to, you know, be done for the night. And he's literally stacking the last box of frames up on the last box. Like, it was the last thing I'm not even kidding you. It was the last thing he had to do. And out of nowhere came a bee. Stung him right on the end of... No, actually, it stung him on a knuckle. And he was so mad. He was like, why? Why? And so we got him some antihistamine. But his fist still blew up like Popeye, and or Bluto or Popeye or whatever. And so he... he's still a little swollen. He had to take antihistamines like me. And so I was like, oh, man. So... Anyway, they got their revenge on us. So, anyway, but that's pretty much done. I've still been bottling some here and there. We're still getting some honey that's collecting, and we're able to still bottle it. But we've got plenty of the wild honey bottles. We're thinking about starting an Etsy store. We're going to wait a little bit and see how much more we're going to sell, because we're selling quite a lot right now. And it's nice because as much as we... love doing this for just the good of the environment, and because it's a really cool process. We do enjoy the honey, and we enjoy giving honey to our friends and family, but it boils down to it's a business, and we've put a lot into it, not just time, but it's expensive hobby, and it's an expensive business in a way too. So we're trying to earn back kind of what we put into it, and we think this year we'll actually be able to pay off the expenses for this year, which were a lot, considering that we did the extractor, we did my bee suit, we bought a bunch of bottles, and so we think we're going to be able to pay all that off, which is really nice. And hopefully in future years we can might be able to turn a little bit of a profit. It's at our level, it's not one of those things where it's like a business that you could like do full time, but as a part-time little side business, hobby business, it's a lot of fun. And my husband is he's really smart at it. He's so good at it. And he wants to, and I really want him to become like a master beekeeper, which is where you have to take classes, show proficiency. There's a lot of things that you have to do. But if you can become certified as a master beekeeper, it's a kind of an illustrious thing. And he absolutely can do it. I mean, he's amazing. So... and he's home. So I'm going to end this video, and I will see you guys soon, and let's all get to stitching. But I'll see you this week. I'll see you on Friday with the vlog, and we'll talk a little bit more. I'll show you more of the honey stuff and some other things that have been going on. So, but I gotta go downstairs and say hi to the hubby. So I'll take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.